Thanks for having me out at your dinner this evening. I am not an attorney, never went to law school, but I do feel that I understand attorneys and I do understand what you are challenged with. I hear the same themes among different industries. I have worked with $21 billion companies and I have worked with $200 million companies. I've worked with small businesses just trying to hurdle over their first million. And different industries, I have clients that are doctors, I have clients that are in pharmaceutical executives, but pretty much I hear the same thing. So I'm here tonight to help you, to give you some ideas on productivity. I want to focus on 5 key ideas on productivity that's going to help you avoid your malpractice. First, before we get into productivity, I want to talk about some myths. You know, I've been a business owner. I've had 2 other businesses and 2 subsidiary companies from that, and I can tell you there's a couple of myths. I can speak from the hat of a business owner. So let's talk about myths that some attorneys might believe in terms of malpractice. Some attorneys may be believing that they won't be sued. Some attorneys believe that my firm is well run. I don't need malpractice insurance at all. But the reality check is this. Law firms do get sued every year. All right, so I want to get into the 5 critical productivity strategies to help you avoid legal malpractice. Clustering tasks. Research shows that if you do similar tasks at the same time, that you'll get more done in less time and you make less mistakes. How many of you have heard of a time template? Is that a familiar term to you? Just because Josh heard it 2 weeks ago. A time template. Now, a great way to cluster your tasks in advance is to have some kind of a template. Now, let me tell you the benefits of the time templates. It creates boundaries. Time templates create boundaries so you're not bleeding in one task to another. Strategy number 2 for productivity. Record your time contemporaneously. But take a look, you've already mapped out how your time gets categorized each day. At the end of the year, the end of the quarter, you give your accountant, your numbers for expenses and so forth. And you see where your money is going, especially for those of you who have solo practices. You see where your expenses are going out. And that's another big area that people do struggle with, is the difficulty of letting go and delegating. No problem. Strategy number 2, manage your interruptions. Josh, you did that. Actually, you set me up. It's not the mallet in the head that wears you out. It's the grain of sand in your shoe. And I'll tell you how important that 1 grain of sand is. Research shows that the average interruption sets you back 24 minutes. So 10 firms at the mid rate and 10 attorneys at the higher rate is over $2 million a year on uncaptured billable hours, all from that 1 grain of sand in your shoe. 3 interruptions. It doesn't take much. Strategy number 3. Outsource your time drain. So I'm not just talking about outsourcing, I'm talking about both. Outsourcing your work tasks that don't require your expertise, and even outsourcing some things in your home life that is taking up, repeated time. Here's an idea. If you're in the category of feeling like you have no work-life balance, if you're in that category, I would say time track your personal life as well. That sheet on Excel works just as great for your personal life as it does for your work life. We are in a weak economy, and I do invite you because I hear this all the time. Well, that's great, but everything costs money. You know, I could hire, someone to make the meals, and I could hire somebody to do this and this and this and this at home, but it all costs money. I want to tell you, I have some fantastic budget-friendly solutions for outsourcing. Strategy number 4, utilize advances in technology. Because you're so used to doing things the way you normally do things, you don't realize, you just don't know what you're missing. But once you kind of try it and test it out and start using some of these technological tools, you're going to think, wow, I can't believe I used to do it the long-handed way. I'm going to go through a couple categories of different aspects in your practice where you could consider using some technology. Now, imagine if you could reduce your interruptions, reduce 3 of them a day. That's 24 hours that you gain every month. Stop listening to your voicemail messages. Some attorneys are using their secretaries to take the calls or to at least transcribe, but if your support staff is overloaded, there are services. PhoneTag.com will transcribe your phone messages and turn them into emails and send it right out to you. So if you're not one to sit still and dictate what needs to get done as you're on your way driving to your office that morning, you can dictate and send it to SpeakRite, and they will transcribe it and email it to you. Map.com is another tool. It's different than the practice management software. This one helps you track everything in the case. Strategy number 5. This one is very simple but not easy to implement. Take good care of yourself. The reality is most of us take better care of our computers and our cars than we do ourselves. Maintain appropriate workloads. This is going to help your productivity. Remember, we talked about malpractice being caused by mistakes, and mistakes being that it's coming from attorneys who are unorganized, overcommitted, and rushed. Prioritize your personal time and don't be afraid to say no. I appreciate you giving me the time tonight to speak to you, and I know some of these concepts might have been concepts you've heard before. It's a great reminder. Some of them you might not have heard. Some of them you might be more resistant of even trying. But I want to encourage you to at least try it for a 2-week snapshot. I do wish you luck on your productivity, and thanks again for having me tonight.
Additional speaking topics include marketing, brand positioning, sales training, hiring, and staff training. For more information on booking seminars or keynote messages, please visit www.paramountbusinesscoach.com.